Our next tasting is here at the Basque Market. The current owners are Tony and Tara Iguerin. I'm probably butchering their last name, I don't quite know it as well. But they became known all around the Treasure Valley for their catering specialties. So when the previous owners were looking to retire about 10 years ago, they approached Tony and Tara and asked them to take over the company. They were at an auction at the Basque Center here, and Tony and Tara were pretty busy. They were raising their kids. They were both teaching on the side as well as running catering at the time. So they said, when the previous owners approached them, they said, you know, we're not interested, we've got enough on our plate, but thank you for the offer. Well, Tara says she woke up the next morning with a headache, a hangover, and a new business on her hands. So the wine was flowing and she was convinced. But we're so glad they did take it over. It's really an all-in-one specialty shop with exclusive items from the Iberian Peninsula itself. They serve paella out here on the patio 3 times a week. They've got tapas indoors about 4 times a week, as well as specialty tastings, cooking classes. I try and spend all my tips on local events, and so that's one of the ones on my list next. It's the Sheep Herder's Breakfast or Paella cooking class. It's participatory. Tapas tastings that we've got for you guys today. I'll start with this one here. So these are called croquetas. They're made with a bechamel, which is a white roux consisting of flour, butter, and milk. They can be filled with a rotating number of different things here at the Basque Market. Those are chicken croquetas, cod croquetas. Today they're piquillo pepper and cheese. They're coated in breadcrumbs on the outside. There's 2 to a skewer, so go ahead and pass those around. You can take a skewer. Next thing we've got here is a tapa containing a piquillo pepper, which is wrapped around a house olive, as well as some cheese right there. And the peppers are typically not spicy at all. This here are the shishito peppers. These have been nice and grilled with a little salt on there, so it's a savory tasting. Again, they're probably not spicy, but the peppers here at the Basque Market and that grow in the Basque land, you might pick 20 off the same plant and a couple might be spicy. So it's kind of like Russian roulette, you just gotta go for it and you'll find out later who got the spicy one. What we've got for your beverage today, these are called the frozen white wine sangrias. Story goes that Tony and Tara received a catering request for both a red and a white wine sangria. Afterwards, they're cleaning up the leftovers, and Basque people are very frugal, so they're not going to throw anything out. So they decided to hang on to the white wine sangria, deal with it later. We figured, throw it in the freezer, come back to it later. And when they did, it was this perfect half-frozen consistency. They added orange juice and fresh berries. They've got it in their Slurpee machine year-round. What are you up to today? Exhausted.
Calm day.
Oh, okay.
We just did paella lunch. So we did lunch for 40, and so that's gone. It was about 20 minutes to empty that pan. And
nice.
so then just doing pinchos. So we had dinner tonight.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah. So not quite major catering time.
Not yet. Not yet.
But it's warming up. It's good.
Do you guys have any questions about the Basque culture, traditions, or Basque?
So do you get reservations to come here, and you're serving one thing at a time, or what? How do you?
It depends. Most of it is first come, first serve. So like at lunch, we do lunch on Wednesday and Fridays with paella. Every day we've got pinchos or tapas. But those others, yeah, it's first come, first serve. Thursday nights we do a paella at 6 o'clock, first come, first serve. Friday night dinners is a 3-course meal for $25, and that we do ask for reservations, or that guarantees your spot.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes it's full weeks ahead, and other times they're open. And so technically, tapas are on top. So they're this Spanish word. And they say that it started with you have your drink and flies or bugs were getting in your drink. So one bar put a piece of bread on top to keep the critters out. And then the place across the street went, well, I'm going to do a piece of bread and a piece of cheese. And then kind of try and get, and so it comes from papier, which means to cover. So that's what that is. And then pinchos are usually something that's picked or skewered. So kind of like you have the one with the cheese and the olive, and so that would be a technical pincho. But as time has gone, tapas, pinchos, it's kind of interchangeable nowadays. In the Basque country, it is more pinchos because that is the Basque word. And tapas more when you get to southern Spain. The way everything is priced, we have like a little thing on the light, and you can see like a little scale or a key, and everything has a different shape or size pick in it. And so then, so like looking at these, like this pick that you have the croqueta through, that's $1.50 pick. And so you just go through and you grab whatever you want as the customer and save all your picks and you come up and then we go, oh, this, yeah, you must have something for $1.50, something for 50 cents, something for, add it up, and you're good to go. I also do cooking classes, so it might be fun to look us up ahead of time and see if that can correspond with me. But we do cooking classes in there. They're anywhere from the paella to soups to lamb shanks to tapas or pinchos, frozen sangria. We do all different kinds of things. And those usually come with a little wine tasting and pinchos during. So you food, drink, and then whatever we make, you have to eat that too. The Basque Festival is last weekend of July every year. And that's always a fun time. Close the street. They have local dancers, weightlifters, ball players. We take down our big band and do paella throughout the weekend. So that's always a good time. Street dance every night. Every year there's a festival. They started in '87. The same weekend, same festival. They call it Hayaldi, which means celebrate. And it's like the normal festival on steroids. So if you've been to a normal one, it's like 2,000 to 3,000 people for the event. And this last summer we did 800 servings of paella from Thursday to Sunday. 800. The last Hayaldi, so then now it's on the 5s. So last one was 15, so the next one's in 20. The last one we did 1,500 servings of paella a day for 4 days in a row. And there were about 18,000 people versus like 2,000 to 3,000. So it's huge. They usually only have like one day on the block because then there's just so many people. And then we have moved out to the fairgrounds because they have parking, they have restrooms, they have all of that, built in. But the Basque president comes over with some of his men. They have the earbuds in the ear and everything. And we had 2 dance groups and weightlifters and woodchoppers and musicians. And then I think there were 2 planes of just people. They're coming over for the celebration.